everybody, it's Besties on the Deck again, and thank you for coming back for our second episode. I am Tish, and this is
Blossom.
So we got our first email in our podcast email, bestiesonthedeck@gmail.com, if you missed it last episode. And we got a suggestion on a topic, and I think it's very important.
It's a good one.
It is. The individual asked, can you guys do an episode on venting? I'm the sounding board for a few people, and it's always the same cycle they are repeating. The same stuff every day and every time. Then they ask for advice, only to just ignore it. It's exhausting. Girl, I hear you. Or guy, I hear you, whoever sent this, but I hear you. It says, I don't want to burn bridges, but I'm done listening to people complain nonstop, and I've got my own family to worry about. So one, thank you for sending that in. It is a very good topic.
Okay, so I have a story about being careful when you're venting. Because I was at a store, and I won't say where, and there was a lot of people, and the parking lot was full, and I'd had a really hard time parking, and just the whole experience was bad. And so then I'm so agitated that I just need to I just want to scream. I just want to scream. But I can't because people look at me like I'm crazy. And so I'm in my car and I'm like, I just want to get home. I just want to get home. These people are driving me crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, people would pull out in front of me and go like 5 miles an hour, but yet they couldn't wait 3 seconds for me to pass and then get behind me. So anyway, so there's this truck, this old pickup truck. And it is being a thorn in my side the entire time I'm trying to get out of the parking lot. And I swear they didn't know what a gas pedal was. And so I am ranting and raving and venting. I am going to town in my car. My arms are flailing. I'm yelling. I'm screaming. I'm just letting it all out in my car to myself. And all of a sudden, we're going down this hill to the stop sign. And the truck stops. And it doesn't go. He gets out of the truck, and he was watching me in his rearview mirror.
Oh, goodness.
And so I thought real fast. Because, and he was like jumping down my throat and everything. And I said, sir, I am on the phone with my teenage daughter. What is your problem? And he felt so bad. He was like, I'm sorry. I thought, I was like, no. I said, I have a teenage daughter at home. I was lying through my teeth.
Oh, my gosh.
But I had never had somebody with road rage come after me. And so now I have to be very careful when I vent because people can see you in your car.
Absolutely.
So that was my whole point about being very careful because now with road rage the way it is.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought that was pretty swift thinking there because
come up with a different excuse.
I am on the phone with my teenage daughter. What is your problem?
Oh, all right. So with venting, especially with that email that was sent in, I've been in that spot before numerous times. And even my own friends giving me advice, about stuff like that.
It's a lot easier to give advice than it is to take advice.
Yes.
Because everybody's got an opinion and they're going to force it down your throat whether you like it or not because they love you and they want what's best for you and everybody thinks that they know what is best.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get all these different opinions and stuff. The problem is when people ask you for your opinion, that's the time to really get in there and
be raw.
Yeah. But when you're not asked and you're just giving your 2 cents to be giving your 2 cents, sometimes it can
make things worse.
Yes. Especially if you're throwing your pearls to swine and it's gonna go in one ear and out the other. Why are you wasting your breath? They're not gonna listen to you. You've said it 100 times. But on the other hand, sometimes it takes 100 times for it to sink in.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes hearing that same message from someone completely different.
Well, okay, that's just like with kids. If I would tell my daughters like really cool stuff, like about like an actor or an actress that we liked that I heard a fact about or something, or I will suggest a movie or something like that, or I will give advice about because I have girls, so I would be giving them advice about boys,
right?
But the thing is they would come home And they would be like, oh my gosh, Mom, guess what I learned today? I'm like, okay, what? What did you learn? And they would tell the same thing that I had told them, but somebody else had said it.
It's so
because somebody else who is only a light little part in their life, like a teacher or something, you know, walks in and says the same thing that I've been preaching and preaching and preaching. When I said it, it went in one ear and out the other. Right. When the other person says it, it was like from on high. Yes. God himself came down and gave this advice. And I'm just looking at him like, that's what I said. No, it's not, Mom. And there's not enough Prozac and prayer in the world. It just,
So I have learned in my 30 some odd years of being on this beautiful earth, you said it earlier too, watch who you vent to, watch how you vent. In this specific email, what stood out to me most is, you know, the fact that it's a never-ending merry-go-round, you know. They're constantly having the same issue, they're constantly complaining about the same kind of stuff, yet they're not willing to change their situation.
And that's when you have to put your foot down. If you have a really good friendship, it will survive. It will survive you being honest and saying, look,
well, even if it's a family member.
Just, you know, be like, I love you, and I deeply care about this situation that you're in.
Yeah.
But you've asked me for advice multiple times. You don't take it. I've given it, and now the ball is in your court.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change my opinion. It's going to be the same thing every time you ask me.
Yeah.
And if you have a really close friendship, like a best friend, and you're having this kind of situation with, if it's a best friend, then you can even probably get away with going so far as to say, you're draining me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're physically and emotionally draining me, having to listen to the same thing over. I love you, but I've heard it.
Yeah.
And you've heard what my response is, and this is just a cycle that we need to just get out of.
Yeah.
And change the topic.
And between the two of us, we've done that before.
Yes.
On each side.
Yes.
Just different circumstances. And sometimes it's easy to take that advice and roll with the punches or change your situation.
But
sometimes it's very hard.
Well, you have to remember too, it's not what you say,
it's how you say it. That I tell my daughter that all the time.
I can walk up to you and I can be like, hey Tish, or I can be like, hey Tish.
Yeah, then my next
is,
totally what's wrong with you?
The exact same words, but it's two totally different tones.
Yes.
Which would set two totally different moods.
And that's exactly what we are trying to instill in our children, is because they're a lot like me. They wear their emotions on their face. So even if we're not speaking, our face is speaking volumes.
Yes, it does.
And so, I apologize, girls. You got that. But for the most part, I think growing up, I didn't do a lot of venting. I think I kept a lot of things to myself. I was the young one. I was the baby. But as I got older, I noticed who I could vent to and who I could not. And you really find out who is in your corner when you're able to vent. In
junior high,
it's all drama.
You don't have that figured out yet. And
mostly it's your parents that you're talking to.
I mean, does it start some drama?
Yes.
Oh, my stars. You have to be so... But then again, okay, think of it this way. We start out in elementary school, and think about it. Everybody, all the kids get along. They don't care what each other looks like, what their background is, what their home life is. Everybody just gets along and loves each other.
Right.
Then you get to middle school, and that's when
hormones,
the facial expressions can just totally
change
you over, because somebody can take something that you've got on your face you don't even realize.
Yeah.
And take it and make a whole big old thing out of it, okay? Yeah. So then you get a little older, a little bit wiser in high school, and you are careful about who you vent to, because you have to know who your true friends are.
Absolutely.
Because an untrue friend can take what you're venting and turn it into some big drama thing. So you get a little bit wiser in high school, but then I think we get dumb as dirt again in our 30s and 40s, because we've gotten so comfortable with our friends and everything, and then you're not on guard. Mm-hmm. And you really have to stay on guard with your thoughts, because you can't share every little thing. And there may be situations where they haven't asked you for your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them doing the same thing over and over, and you want to say something so bad.
Yeah.
But you have to be so delicate, and remember, it's not what you say, it is how you say it.
Absolutely.
Because that can determine the entire outcome. You know, if somebody's going to receive it
Yeah.
and be blessed by it, or if they're going to take it as an attack or an insult or something. So you have to be prepared for whatever the response is if you just offer your advice without being asked.
Right.
If you're asked, you kind of have
some leeway.
Yes.
Because if they didn't ask, then they obviously didn't value what you wanted to say. Otherwise, they wouldn't ask you for your opinion.
Your opinion.
Yeah. But it also feels like they don't value your opinion if you're giving that opinion and you're standing by what you believe and what you're trying to share with this person, and yet they still just don't see it. You know what I mean? With family and stuff, it's hard. It's hard because you want to be there for them. You want to help out in any which way you can. But when you're hearing certain circumstances going on, it's kind of like you just want to shake that person and be like, open your eyes. You know, why are you not seeing what everyone else is seeing? Why are you so blind to this?
But we also, something that we are blind to as individuals, everybody's blind to the fact that the things that you carry around with you, the things that are weighing on your mind, weighing on your heart, things like that, they affect you. And sometimes it's not even that you need advice, it's simply that you need someone to acknowledge you, like, and validate, you know, I have feelings about this, and I really want to talk about this, and be in a situation where you can. But if you hold everything in and you never speak, that's another downfall, because then you've got all this built up in you, and other people's anxiety becomes your anxiety because you're not releasing anything. You're just soaking it up and adding on to your pile of stuff, you know, that you already feel you can't do anything about. Now you've got all these other people's situations. So you have to be careful about opening yourself up.
Absolutely.
To that, because, you know,
their drama becomes your drama without you wanting it.
Yes, and it can be very overwhelming.
Very much so.
Especially if you have a couple of friends that are doing it at the same time.
And when it starts that snowball effect, it feels like everybody gets tumbled down that whole way, because they take everybody down with them. And
and it's not healthy mentally or physically. It is not healthy to carry around other people's baggage, because it's not healthy to carry around our own baggage. We need to learn how to deal with things so we can let things go.
Yeah, and move on.
Don't wallow in things.
Have your 15-minute pity party.
Yes, you get 15 minutes to be human. You scream, you cry, you hit, you do whatever you want. If you have to say a cuss word, you say that cuss word. You get it out of your system, and then you put your big girl britches on, and you're like, okay, now that's done.
Now God, show me what to do.
Yeah, and I can't change what is done.
Yeah.
All I can do is affect what is to come.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the times, like I've even had these conversations with family members, is it's all in how you react, your response, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Or
if you roll your eyes and indicate that you could care less, that's going to hurt somebody really deep.
Absolutely.
And so even if you don't care, you have to be careful of your facial expressions, because that could really hurt somebody. They may be opening up to you, and you are not in the mood to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make you a bad friend. It's just sometimes, or a bad family member. It's just sometimes you're not in the mood to hear other people's crap.
Overwhelmed with your own.
Exactly.
So sometimes I think in that circumstance specifically, that it's okay to say, you know what? I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through. I really hope it gets better. You know, the best advice I can give you is lay it at God's feet.
Yep.
Let God be in charge of it. He's already got a plan for it. He already knows what you're going through. Just give it to Him and stop stressing about it. And I've had to do that so much in the past 2 years.
And honestly, as a side note, the healthiest place to vent is to God, because He's a big boy and He can take it.
Absolutely.
You can pitch your fit, you can scream, you can cry, you can say, I don't think this is fair, I don't like this, I don't want this. And just be honest with them. And I feel so much better about things once I just get it off my chest. And then I'm like, okay, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but you knew it was in my heart anyway, so I might as well just share it. You know?
Absolutely. You can't keep those kind of things away from God.
Because he knows anyway. So you're not fooling anybody.
Might as well just be honest about it. But yeah, so back to the question. When it comes to... I have a feeling that maybe this is more towards like family and stuff. And when it comes to family venting or family drama, to be completely honest, out of, like I said, the 30 some odd years I've been graced to be on this earth, I feel like it is perfectly fine to put up healthy boundaries and to explain those boundaries to said person that is wearing you out.
And don't be offended if those people don't automatically understand where you're coming from. It may take them a moment. Like, what do you mean you don't want to hear what I have to say? What do you mean you don't care about... You're not saying that. And,
right.
You know, I'm not saying I don't care. I do. And my heart breaks for you, or, you know, I am happy for you, or whatever the situation may be. But I can't be bogged down with it right now.
Yeah.
You would not get the best of me right now because I'm going through my own things and I'm not in a position mentally that I feel I can give you good advice because I feel as though either A, I've already done it 100 times and you didn't listen.
Yeah.
Or I'm just not in the right mental space
to give you that kind of advice.
To give you a good perspective or a different perspective or anything. Mm-hmm. Just be honest. I'm not in the mental space to contribute to this right now.
Right. That and the healthy, the healthy boundaries. You let somebody have an inch and they'll take a mile. Mm-hmm. So, especially with family members, setting that boundary, letting them know, look, I don't mind being an ear for you to vent to, but just know this is how I feel. And you have to respect what I feel too. It's not just the person that's venting.
Don't ask me to respect your feelings if you're not going to respect mine.
Exactly. So you're coming to me, asking me for advice about blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to look into my archives and I'm going to see what I've been through and what can I relate to this situation to give them advice on if I've been through that situation. Mm-hmm. And most of the time I feel like I have given good sound advice. But then there's just some people... I'm very empathic. I feel things completely different. I read people completely different. That's why I do massage therapy. It's all physical, and you just get so much emotion out of that constant connection with somebody during your session. And being able to block that off to help them but not take on whatever it is that they've got going on. A lot of people don't believe in that. It's not witchcraft, it's not juju stuff. It's literally, I feel so close with this person because I'm skin to skin contact for an hour, if not more. And especially if they're giving off a certain vibe that there's
like
just a heaviness or something.
Angry or sad.
I pick up on that tremendously. I'm still trying to learn how to keep my walls up and guard myself so that I'm not taking on someone else's grief or anger or sadness. But I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to pray over them and God just intervene in whatever situation's going on with them and help them. And, you know, I always let my clients know, look, if you need prayer, I'm here with you. I'm your biggest prayer warrior. You just ask. I'm right there. And a lot of people, they aren't sure how to take that when I first say it. But for me, it feels like my ministry, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's another big area that venting happens, is in a massage room. Mm-hmm. Most people, they want to come in, relax, maybe fall asleep. Cool. Then you've got your other clients who are dealing with some heavy stuff. And you feel it the moment you walk into the room. So all you want to do is just be able to love on this person, let them know they're not alone in whatever it is that's going on. Mm-hmm. And they vent about all kinds of things. You know, I've had a lot of really hard conversations with clients about their own lives and before I even respond, I'm like, Lord, give me the words to say.
And also it's important to remember to be flattered if you're someone's sounding board. I mean, not in the, and I mean it like this. If someone comes to you and legitimately wants your advice or your opinion or whatever and asks for it, be honored that they consider you someone whose opinion matters.
And that they're going to.
And, because not everybody will disregard your advice.
Right.
You're going to have those certain people in your family, and that is just how they are.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to deal with that, whether it's Prozac and prayer or a little shot of Jack or something, whenever you
Whatever,
have to
what's
deal
your
with them.
whistle?
Whenever you have to deal with them, you just know that mentally you have to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's a flattering thing when someone wants to entrust something that they're going through, when they want to entrust you with their situation.
Yeah, their personal
and their
information.
personal business. So you might not be in the mental state of mind at that moment to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you can't always line up how you're going to feel when something happens. But if you are in a position where you're approached, look at it as a blessing that someone thinks of you so highly that they want your opinion rather than a burden.
Yeah.
Because that's going to impact how you respond too.
Oh, for sure. And I think another thing is with venting and stuff, especially with family. It's hard to do that with family. Families, you're stuck with with them, So we're not always going to get along with everybody. We're not always going to see eye to eye with everybody. But I think the most important thing to take out of it is just being open and honest. Mm-hmm. And being able to speak from the heart with whatever it may be. And hopefully at one point they're going to hear something and it's going to click. Oh, hey, my so-and-so just told me something like this,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe I should take their advice. Maybe I should listen. I'm telling you, if you just, even in your own house.
Because sometimes people don't even want your opinion or anything. They just want to be heard.
And that's perfectly fine
just
too.
To be heard. They don't need any kind of response from you except maybe a hug at the end of it.
Yeah.
They just want to be heard. They just need to get it out. And they will feel so much better once they do.
Yeah.
It won't fix anything. It won't change anything. But there's something about releasing it. It makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of the heaviness off.
Absolutely. I think these past few months, because I was off work for a little while from an injury, and
both of us were. But totally. Okay, so side note. So yeah, we're talking about venting, but let me just tell you, because this is hilarious. So we're both always talking about our bodies are breaking down. They just can't keep up with what we have to do.
I feel 20 inside, though.
So I'm walking out of church. I'm sneaking out of church early because, okay, people, I was hungry.
Yes.
I love my pastor. I love my pastor. I love my church. But we were at the tail end of the service. It was the altar call. I'm good. Me and God are good. I didn't feel the need to go down to the altar that day. And I had the kids with me. And I was like, okay, if I sneak out right now, I can beat the crowd. I got to beat them hungry Baptist and Methodists. And so I go to sneak out of church, and I fall down a flight of concrete steps, 11 steps. I broke my foot. I tore a tendon. I broke a rib. I broke my shoulder. So I was laid up.
And you
for
cracked
months.
your collarbone, didn't you?
No, I broke my collarbone.
Oh, broke the collarbone.
Yeah, I broke it. And so
Humpty Dumpty.
So she's like, so Tish is like, oh, it'll be okay. You're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. I'm like, I can't drive. I can't do anything. I'm in pain. I'm miserable. I would whine. You talk about somebody that nobody wanted to be around. I was not somebody that somebody wanted to be around because I was in pain.
Well, she was doing all of this with no medication to help her with her pain.
The doctors didn't believe in pain medicine, so I'm battling
all kinds of
these
broken bones.
And I'm already getting old, and I already have aches and pains.
Right.
So she's like, I'll keep you company. I'll come visit you. I'll you'll be fine. You're gonna. Well, then she gets injured, and so she's in pain, and she can't get comfortable, and so she's miserable and can't work, and so we're both laid up. But we're both so miserable, and I couldn't drive because I was all broken, and she was
My
having
migraines were horrible bad.
migraines. So we couldn't even get to each other to comfort each other, So we just had to whine
do it from a distance.
Yeah, so
we're gonna enjoy our pity party for a little bit,
yes,
and then we're gonna be over it, and then we're gonna laugh about it later, which we did.
I didn't have 15 minutes of being human. I had 15 days of where I was just miserable, and my poor husband, God love him, he's the greatest man to walk the earth. But he tried in every way he could to make life easier on me. But I was just miserable. I was in so much pain.
That's how my husband was too with those migraines.
And I wanted to vent a lot. And it's not like I had a lot to vent about. But
because you were stuck in bed.
I was stuck in bed. I mean, it took an act of Congress just to get me to the bathroom and back, and that exhausted me.
Well, that massive boot you had to wear too.
Oh my gosh! Well, and the cast was heavy when I had the cast on, so it was like I didn't get a break between the boot and the cast, and so yeah. So that's just a total side note there, but it goes along with what we were saying. In that situation, I just wanted somebody to feel sorry for me. I just wanted to know I was not alone in the world because I felt all alone.
Yeah.
The house was empty. If I was hungry, I couldn't do anything about it. If I was thirsty, I
it's
couldn't
upstairs.
do anything about it. Because the kitchen and everything is upstairs. I was stuck downstairs. I couldn't go up the steps. So yeah, I was fit to be tied. I was not happy. I was not a happy camper.
No. So venting, yes, I think on certain scales is a good thing. And it's a good thing to be able to talk to people about things that are bothering you or something that they're doing that you don't quite agree with, depending on what the situation is.
Okay, speaking of situations, so while I'm at the emergency room after the fall, and remember, I snuck out because I was hungry.
See what God did? So
I was in the emergency room for 6.5 hours with they gave me nothing for pain while I was in there either.
Oh my gosh.
So it was from the time I snuck out of church to the time I finally got some food, it was 8.5 hours. And I was like, I am never sneaking out of church again. But while sitting there in the emergency room, I wanted to vent. I wanted to cry. I wanted to complain because I was miserable. It had just happened. I had blood all over my legs, all over my arms.
She was in such a cute outfit too, y'all. We've got matching outfits.
And I was so cut up and banged up. And
she was.
I was so miserable, but I had to put on a happy face because my pastor and his wife were with me, and so therefore I had to behave myself, and I couldn't share how I really felt, and I couldn't share. I just had to say I was clumsy because I couldn't share with them. I'm sorry, Pastor, but I was so hungry I didn't want to listen anymore. I mean, so I had to it was so bad. It was so bad, y'all. So
now we know not to skip out on
don't
the ending
out
of church because you'll fall down the stairs.
Yes.
Concrete stairs.
Yes.
Or if you don't ask for help, you fall down the wooden stairs and miss the last 2 steps. Which I did.
We had to call an ambulance.
Because, Mama tries to do it all, and Mama's got 6 arms and 8 legs and eyes in the back of her head that see everything.
And while we're doing everything, we still hear, Mom,
Mommy, Mom,
bruh. I need this, Mom. And I'm like, don't you have a father you can go to?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how many times they'll walk past him
and go
to come into the bathroom.
While
to vent to me while I'm in the bathroom. And I'm just
don't vent
I even
while
locked the door.
Bathroom. That's not a time to vent.
I even locked the door. And they have learned to use their fingernail to unlock the door. So now Mama still don't get no privacy.
No.
I don't get to watch my show while I'm soaking in the tub after my fibro's been flared up.
Preach it.
And I just want 5 damn minutes to myself of
and it would
no
be
questions.
Great if I wasn't having to poo during those 5 minutes.
No questions. No, I'm hungry. What's for dinner? Or my youngest is always saying, "What's for lunch?" At 4 p.m. And I'm like, bro.
You had lunch at school.
Yeah, I'm like, what did you eat at school? Oh, well, I had this, and this. Well, that was lunch, wasn't it? I guess so. Okay, well, dinner will be in about... Well, I've come to find out they're doing their lunches at 10 o'clock in the morning. These kids don't get out until damn near 3. The next one don't get out till almost 4. And then by the time they get their food, sometimes, especially in the middle school, the food is nasty and cold, or it's outdated. I don't know how many times my oldest has told me that her stuff was outdated and they were eating it. And they get pizza from one of the local pizza joints, and by the time her class gets to go in and have lunch,
it's cold.
It's rubber and cold. And I'm just like, how are these kids not getting sick? There's got to be a change in that somewhere. Yeah, that's going to be
a whole topic that we can tackle too.
The board of administrators in the school district are probably going to hear a lot of venting if things don't start changing.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway.
There is always a time to vent and a time that it's not the best thing to do. You just have to use your best judgment. Mm-hmm. But in regards to the whole venting, just remember the key facts. Number one, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Approach everything with love.
Yes.
If it's a family member or a friend, even if it's a coworker, approach it with love.
Yeah.
And do your best to either give good advice,
mm-hmm.
or if you've done that and they don't take it, set your boundaries in a loving way. Say, I am totally invested in you as a person, and I see that this is difficult for you, but I have to set a boundary because I have given you advice.
Mm-hmm.
I have listened. I have been there for you, but at some point I have to step away.
Yeah.
This is your situation, and all I can do is say it so many times, and
mm-hmm.
it's not going to change. My view isn't going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And just be loving about it. But if feelings may get hurt right at first, but if you're good enough friends or close enough family, everybody's going to get over it in a very short period of time.
I think so.
Just vent about it.
Just vent about it. Just vent. Get it off your chest.
And I'm going to be venting in the carpool line here in about 5 minutes when I have to leave to go get all the kids.
Carpool line is going to be its own episode.
There should just be a reality show about carpool lines.
I'm telling you, I want to ram my car into some people sometimes in that line,
mm-hmm.
because they'll pull up towards the front, and we always have a light that tells us when we can go, when we need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody wants to be curbside and wants to come up to the front where the principal is letting people out.
Mm-hmm.
And they all want to come out one at a time. Nobody gets in the far lane to just, drop the kid off and go like you're supposed to. Half the time I'm unbuckling her seatbelt and opening the door and being like, have fun! But, these parents, they'll get out with them. They'll help them get their backpack on.
Them for a while.
They'll walk them to the curb, and I'm just like, bro, get in your car. That light's about to turn green,
yep.
and if you're in my way, I'm going to move you.
Yep.
So
yeah,
anyway.
Carpool lines are so slow until you get up to where you pick up the kids,
mm-hmm.
and then it moves so fast, and you're trying to get the kids strapped in, and you're trying to get the backpacks out of the way, and the cars are already moving, and you're like, hurry up! They get in the car, and you're like, oh, did you have a great day? I missed you so much.
Seatbelt, let's go!
Yeah, within 30 seconds, it's a completely different mood. It's like, hurry up!
Then it's a nightmare trying to get out of that area.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Without accidents.
If I knew how to do a citizen's arrest, I would have a megaphone, and I would have so many tickets.
Start carrying around some handcuffs and
I'd be
zip
like,
ties.
where is a police officer when you need one?
Oh,
do you not see what these people are doing?
Right.
So
they need to be. Well, and that one sits up there by my youngest school, and it's like, okay, well, are you playing on your phone or what? Because there's all kinds of people doing stupid stuff, but nobody ever does anything.
I know.
So that'll be for another episode.
I'm going to start taking pictures of what I see people doing in the carpool line. I saw you pick your nose.
Right. But anyway, y'all, we thank you so much for coming and listening.
And for
our
writing in.
Yes, and for writing in. That really made us so excited to get our first email.
We are listening to the suggestions.
Yes,
and
we've got a lot of suggestions.
And so we've got some topics that obviously are on people's minds, and so we're going to tackle those.
Yes, of course. And as always, y'all, the email you can contact is bestiesonthedeck@gmail.com. You can email in, you can leave us a message, you can write something on the YouTube channel posts, wherever you want to.
And hit subscribe.
Yes, hit subscribe if you're liking what you're hearing, and share it with some friends.
And thanks for sticking with us as we go through this ride, as we are working out the little kinks and getting unnervous and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for, sticking with us.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being patient while we still work out our podcast and make sure that it's what we want to present and stand behind. So But other than that, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the support. We hope you have an amazing rest of your week.
Yes, an amazing week that brings you nothing that needs to be vented about.
Yes,
I pray
a break.
A ventless week for all of you.
Absolutely.